Hey, welcome back to the Guitar Stuff channel. In this video I'm going to explain what is the difference between an amp, a stomp and a cab in the Tonex universe. So every tone model consists of two things, an amp, so the amp part of the tone model, and a cabinet part. And the amp part that is represented here can be either only an amp, so it's just the amp without any pedals in front. It can be an amp with one or several pedals in front, but the pedals always have to be distortion or overdrive, so no time-based effects like delay, reverb, but like booster pedals, etc. can be in front. Or the amp part of the tone model can be only a pedal. On the pedal you see this color coding here. You see if it's amber, then it means it's only an amp that is captured. If it's green, it means it's an amp and also like pedal or pedals in front. And if it's blue, it's only a pedal. So it means it has to go into another amp, either a real amp or another amp simulation. And the cab part of the tone model, you see it represented here on the pedal, can be either the cabinet is included in the tone model. So that's important to know. For example, someone captured the tone model by placing one or several microphones in front of a real guitar cabinet. Then, of course, the cabinet is part of the tone model. And what's very important to know, if you then change the cab, the software calculates like the cabinet part out of the tone and replaces it with your cab selection. More on this later. The cab part can also be a virtual cabinet, so that's IK Multimedia's cabinet and microphone placement simulation tool that can be used as cabinet. Or it can be a custom IR, so your own impulse response. And here you see the color coding. Amber means tone model was made with a cabinet. Green means the cabinet part is the virtual cabinet. Blue means it's a custom IR or a known impulse response as cabinet. And white, if it's set to white, it means the cabinet is globally bypassed. So when is this done? This is done if you go with your Tonex into a power amp or into an amp and then into a real guitar cabinet. Then you don't need also the cabinet simulation from the pedal. Also, you see if it's white, it means on every preset it's turned off. If it's just not visible, then it means only on the current preset it's turned off. Also the amp part, if it's not visible, it means only the cab part is active. Let's check this out now in the software. So in the software you see here the amp part of the tone model and here the cabinet part. And if you want to see what kind of tone model it is, you just have to watch these columns here. So for example, if the pedal column, the stomp column is filled in and the amp column, it means, okay, the amp part here is a pedal and an amp. And if only the stomp part is filled in, it means it's only a pedal that is simulated. Or if only the amp part is filled in, it means the amp part is only an amp or amp head without pedal in front. Of course, it sounds very, very weird. For example, if you just go with just use a pedal, it sounds like if you would go with the pedal not into an amp, but just directly into the interface or into a mixing desk. It sounds like this. Okay, maybe you want this, but this is of course not the intention, but can be maybe cool. Also, if you would just go with the amp head directly, not through a guitar cabinet, like here on this tone model is no cabinet, it sounds of course very weird. And what I said before, if we have now a tone model that has like also a cabinet baked in, if I go now here and change the cabinet, let's change it to the virtual cabinet. You see the two microphones from IK Multimedia's tool. Change the microphone here, change the blend and so on, change the cabinet itself. Of course, now it sounds like a full thing, but here is what's happened is like the software calculated like the cabinet part away from the tone model and replaces it with your selection. Or let's do it here, for example. Or yeah, here is like a Mesa Boogie cabinet in it. Let's see how this sounds. And now if I go here and say, okay, I want to change this, let's say a custom IR, it has to calculate away what was baked in the tone model and just replaces the cap part with what I select. And I think it also sounds alright, but in general, if you want to use your own cabinet impulse response, I would choose a tone model that does not have a cabinet baked in. Like here, for example, just the head, very weird. And now I activate, let's say, my custom IR cabinet. Okay, so these details about tone models, so amp, stomp, cab, are important to know and can be a bit confusing at the beginning. And by the way, if you consider buying the Tonex pedal or any other gear, please use my Thomann affiliate link in the description and support this channel. Thank you so much. See you next time.